Life is a journey, my friends. A journey filled with twists and turns, ups and downs, moments of triumph and moments of despair. But let me tell you something. It's not about the destination. It's about the path you choose to walk. Now, I want you to think about something for a moment. Think about all those times when you've poured your heart and soul into something only to have it go unnoticed. Those times when you've given your all, but it seems like nobody cares. It's a feeling that can eat away at you, isn't it? It can make you question your worth, your abilities, your very purpose. But here's the thing. Your worth isn't determined by others' appreciation. Your value doesn't diminish because someone fails to see it. You are a masterpiece crafted by the universe itself, and your light doesn't dim just because someone else is blind to it. Let me share a little story with you. Years ago, I knew a young man named Tom. Tom was a hard worker, always the first one in the office and the last one to leave. He had ideas, big ideas, ideas that could revolutionize his company. But day after day, week after week, his ideas were overlooked. His extra hours went unnoticed. His dedication was taken for granted. Now, Tom could have done one of two things. He could have become bitter, resentful. He could have started slacking off, thinking, why bother? They don't appreciate me anyway. But Tom, he was smarter than that. He realized something profound, that his work ethic, his ideas, his passion, they weren't for his boss or his coworkers. They were for him. So what did Tom do? He took all that energy, all that passion, all those brilliant ideas, and he channeled them into starting his own business. Today, Tom's company is thriving. He's not just successful, he's fulfilled. And you know what the funny thing is? Some of his old coworkers now work for him, and they finally see what they missed out on all those years ago. The moral of the story, when they don't appreciate you, it's not a signal to give up. It's a signal to move on. It's the universe's way of telling you, hey, you've outgrown this place. It's time for bigger things. Now, I can almost hear some of you thinking, but it's not that easy. I have bills to pay. I have responsibilities. And you're right, it's not easy. Nothing worth having ever is. But let me ask you this. Is staying in a place where you're undervalued, where your talents are wasted, where your flame is slowly being extinguished, is that easy? Is that living, or is that just existing? You see, there's a fundamental truth that we often forget. We are not trees. We have roots, yes, but we're not meant to stay planted in one spot our entire lives. We're meant to grow, to explore, to seek out new horizons. And sometimes that means leaving behind the familiar, even if it's scary. Think about a plant for a moment. When a plant outgrows its pot, what happens? Its growth becomes stunted, its leaves may yellow. It might even start to wilt. Is that the plant's fault? Of course not. It's simply outgrown its environment. And what does a good gardener do? They don't blame the plant. They don't try to force it to be content with less space than it needs. No, they repot it. They give it room to grow, to flourish, to reach its full potential. You, my friends, are no different. When you find yourself in an environment that's too small for your dreams, too limiting for your potential, it's time to repot yourself. It's time to find fertile soil where your talents can take root and your ambitions can reach for the sky. Now, I'm not saying you should storm into your boss's office tomorrow and quit. That's not what this is about. This is about recognizing your worth, understanding your potential, and having the courage to seek out opportunities that align with your value. It's about understanding that appreciation isn't just about a pat on the back or a job well done. True appreciation is about recognizing potential, nurturing talent, and providing opportunities for growth. If you're in a place where that's not happening, it's not a reflection on you. It's a reflection on the limitations of your current environment. Let's talk about fear for a moment, because I know that's what holds many of us back. Fear of the unknown, fear of failure, fear of starting over. But here's a little secret about fear. It's often a compass pointing us in the direction we need to go. The things that scare us are usually the things that will help us grow the most. Think about a time when you were afraid to do something, but you did it anyway. Maybe it was public speaking or asking someone out or trying a new hobby. Remember how you felt afterward? That rush of accomplishment, that boost in confidence? That's growth. That's you expanding your comfort zone, becoming more than you were before. Moving on when you're not appreciated is a lot like that. It's scary, yes. But on the other side of that fear is growth, opportunity, and a chance to truly shine. Now, some of you might be thinking, but what if I'm the problem? What if I'm not as good as I think I am? That's a fair question. Self-reflection is important. But let me tell you something. If you're asking that question, if you're willing to look at yourself critically, chances are you're not the problem. The real problem is people who never question themselves, who always blame others for their lack of success. If you're consistently giving your best, if you're always striving to learn and improve, if you're bringing ideas to the table and taking initiative, then you are valuable, period. And if that value isn't being recognized, it's time to find a place where it will be. Remember, success isn't just about money or titles. It's about fulfillment. It's about waking up every morning excited about the day ahead. It's about knowing that your work matters, that you're making a difference, that you're growing and evolving. I want you to do something for me right now. Close your eyes for a moment. Imagine yourself 5 years from now if you stay exactly where you are. How do you feel? Are you excited, fulfilled? Now, imagine yourself 5 years from now, but this time you've taken that leap. You've moved on to an environment that appreciates you, that challenges you, that helps you grow. How does that feel? Which version of yourself seems happier, more alive? That feeling, that vision of your future self, that's your guide. That's your North Star. Let it pull you forward, even when the path seems unclear. Now, moving on doesn't always mean changing jobs or starting a business. Sometimes it means changing your perspective. Maybe you're in a field you love, but your current workplace doesn't recognize your value. Instead of giving up on your passion, look for other companies in the same field. Research them. Reach out to people who work there. Find a place where your skills and passion align with the company's vision. Or maybe you're in a job that pays the bills, but doesn't fulfill you. Instead of quitting outright, start building your skills on the side. Take online courses. Start a side project. Volunteer in a field you're interested in. Build a bridge to where you want to be, plank by plank, day by day. The key is to always be growing, always be moving forward. Even if it's just a small step each day, those steps add up. Before you know it, you've climbed a mountain. Let's talk about gratitude for a moment. Because even in situations where we feel underappreciated, there's always something to be grateful for. Maybe it's the lessons you've learned. Maybe it's the skills you've developed. Maybe it's the clarity you've gained about what you don't want in your career. Gratitude isn't about ignoring the negative. It's about finding the gold nuggets in even the toughest situations. It's about recognizing that every experience, good or bad, is shaping you into the person you're meant to become. So even as you prepare to move on, cultivate gratitude. Thank your current situation for the lessons it's taught you. Thank the challenges for making you stronger. Thank the lack of appreciation for awakening you to your true worth. This attitude of gratitude will serve you well as you move forward. Now, let's address something important. Moving on when you're not appreciated doesn't mean burning bridges. It doesn't mean storming out in a blaze of glory, telling everyone what you really think of them. That might feel good in the moment, but it rarely serves you in the long run. Instead, leave with grace. Leave with professionalism. Because how you leave says as much about you as how you arrive. You never know when paths might cross again in the future. Plus, taking the high road, that's for you. It's about maintaining your integrity, your class, your character. Remember Tom from our earlier story? When he left his job to start his own company, he didn't badmouth his old workplace. He didn't gloat when his business took off. He simply focused on his own growth, his own journey. And that attitude, that professionalism, it served him well. It gave him a reputation as someone of integrity, someone people wanted to do business with. As you prepare to move on, start investing in yourself. Read books in your field. Attend workshops and seminars. Network with people who inspire you. The more you invest in yourself, the more confident you'll become, and the easier it will be to recognize opportunities when they arise. And speaking of opportunities, they're everywhere. In today's world, there are more ways than ever to create value, to build a career, to make a difference. The real question is, are your eyes open to see them? Sometimes we get so focused on the path we think we should be on, we miss the amazing opportunities right in front of us. So open your eyes. Look around. That hobby you love, maybe it could be a business. That problem you always complain about, maybe you're the one who's meant to solve it. Remember, every great business, every great career started with someone looking at the world and thinking, this could be better. I could make this better. That someone could be you. Now, I want to address those of you who might be thinking, but I'm too old to start over. Let me tell you something. That's a myth, a lie we tell ourselves to stay comfortable. Colonel Sanders was in his 60s when he started Kentucky Fried Chicken. Vera Wang didn't enter the fashion industry until she was 40. Samuel L. Jackson didn't get his big break in acting until he was 43. You're never too old to start over. You're never too old to chase your dreams. As long as you're breathing, you have the opportunity to create, to grow, to make a difference. In fact, starting over later in life can be an advantage. You have life experience. You have wisdom. You know yourself better. You're clearer about what you want and what you don't want. Use that. Let it be your superpower. Now let's talk about the process of moving on. It's not always a dramatic overnight change. Sometimes it's a gradual process. It starts with a decision to value yourself, to seek out opportunities that align with your worth. Once you make that decision, start taking small actions every day. Update your resume. Reach out to one new person in your desired field each week. Spend 30 minutes a day learning a new skill. These small actions might not feel significant in the moment, but they add up. They create momentum. And momentum, my friends, is a powerful force. As you start taking these actions, you'll notice something interesting. Your confidence will grow. Your energy will increase. You'll start attracting opportunities. Why? Because you're aligning your actions with your worth. You're sending a message to the universe that you value yourself, and the universe responds in kind. Now, will there be setbacks along the way? Of course. Will there be moments of doubt? Absolutely. But that's all part of the journey. Each setback is a lesson. Each moment of doubt is an opportunity to reaffirm your commitment to yourself. Remember, the path to success is rarely a straight line. It's full of twists and turns, ups and downs, but as long as you're moving forward, as long as you're growing, you're on the right path. Let's talk about the power of your mindset for a moment. Your mindset is like the soil in a garden. You can have the best seeds in the world, but if the soil isn't fertile, those seeds won't grow. In the same way, you can have all the talent and potential in the world, but if your mindset isn't right, you'll struggle to flourish. So how do you cultivate a growth mindset? It starts with your self-talk. Pay attention to the stories you tell yourself. Are they empowering or limiting? Do they expand your possibilities or shrink them? Instead of saying, I can't, say, how can I? Instead of that's impossible, say, that's interesting. How might I approach that? These small shifts in language can create massive shifts in your reality. Another powerful mindset shift is to view challenges as opportunities. When you're not appreciated, instead of feeling victimized, ask yourself, what can I learn from this? How can I use this experience to grow stronger, to become better? This doesn't mean ignoring your feelings. It's okay to feel hurt or frustrated when you're not appreciated. Allow yourself to feel those emotions, but don't camp there. Feel it, learn from it, then use it as fuel to propel yourself forward. Now, as you prepare to move on, it's important to get clear about what you really want. Not what you think you should want, not what others expect of you, but what truly lights you up inside. Take some time for self-reflection. Ask yourself, what kind of work makes me lose track of time? What problems do I love solving? What impact do I want to have on the world? What does success look like to me? The clearer you are about what you want, the easier it will be to recognize opportunities that align with your goals and values. Remember, success isn't about impressing others. It's about impressing yourself. It's about going to bed each night knowing you've lived in alignment with your values, that you've stretched yourself, that you've made a positive difference in some way. As you move forward, surround yourself with positivity. Seek out people who believe in you, who challenge you to be your best self. Distance yourself from negativity, from people who try to dim your light or downplay your dreams. You've heard the saying, you're the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with. So choose wisely. Surround yourself with people who inspire you, who push you to grow, who appreciate your uniqueness. Now let's talk about failure for a moment, because as you step out into new territory, as you reach for bigger things, you will face setbacks. You will make mistakes. You might even fail spectacularly at times. But here's the thing about failure. It's not the opposite of success. It's part of success. Every successful person you admire has failed numerous times. The difference is they didn't let failure stop them. They learned from it. They adjusted their approach. They kept moving forward. So as you move on to new opportunities, embrace failure as a teacher. Don't let it define you. Let it refine you. Let it shape you into a stronger, wiser, more resilient version of yourself. Remember, the goal isn't to be perfect. The goal is to be better than you were yesterday, to learn, to grow, to become more fully yourself. As we near the end of our time together, I want to leave you with this thought. You are capable of so much more than you realize. You have talents, ideas, and potential that the world needs. Don't let anyone's lack of appreciation dim your light. Your journey is unique. Your path is your own. And while it might be scary to step into the unknown, to leave behind the familiar in search of appreciation and growth, remember this, on the other side of that fear is everything you've ever wanted. So take that step, make that leap, believe in yourself fiercely, appreciate yourself fully, and watch as the world rises to meet you. You see, when you truly value yourself, when you refuse to settle for less than you deserve, you give others permission to value you too. You attract opportunities that align with your worth. You create a life that reflects your true potential. So my friends, if you find yourself in a place where you're not appreciated, where your talents are overlooked, where your potential is stifled, know that it's not the end. It's a beginning. It's an invitation to something greater. Take a deep breath, stand tall, and take that first step towards the life you deserve, because you are worthy of appreciation. You are worthy of growth. You are worthy of success. And always remember, see your life is your message to the world. Make sure it's inspiring. Thank you for your time, for your attention, for your willingness to grow. Now go out there and show the world what you're truly capable of. Your greatest chapter is yet to be written, and only you can write it. The world is waiting for your unique contribution. Don't keep it waiting any longer. It's time to move on. It's time to shine. It's time to become all that you were meant to be. Now, you might be wondering, but how do I start? How do I take that first step? Well, let me tell you, it starts with a decision to value yourself, a decision to no longer accept less than you deserve, a decision to pursue your dreams with everything you've got. Once you make that decision, the next steps will become clear. Opportunities will start to appear. Doors will begin to open. Why? Because you're now aligned with your true worth, your true potential. The universe has a way of responding when we step into our power. Let's talk about what that first step might look like. It could be as simple as updating your resume or reaching out to someone in a field you're interested in. It might be enrolling in a course to learn a new skill or starting that side project you've been dreaming about. The important thing is to take action, no matter how small it might seem. You see, momentum is a powerful force. Once you start moving, it becomes easier to keep going. It's like pushing a heavy boulder. The first push is the hardest, But once it starts rolling, it gains its own momentum. Now, I want you to think about something for a moment. Think about all the times in your life when you've overcome a challenge, times when you've pushed through fear, when you've persevered despite doubts. You've done it before, and you can do it again. Those experiences have made you stronger, more resilient. They've prepared you for this moment. Remember, growth often happens outside of our comfort zone. It's in those moments of discomfort, of uncertainty, that we discover what we're truly capable of. So embrace the discomfort. See it as a sign that you're growing, that you're moving in the right direction. As you embark on this journey, it's important to celebrate your progress along the way. Don't wait until you've reached your ultimate goal to acknowledge how far you've come. Celebrate the small wins. The first interview you land, the new skill you master, the moment you realize you're no longer afraid of something that used to terrify you. These celebrations aren't just about feeling good. They're about reinforcing your new path, your new mindset. They're about reminding yourself that you're making progress, that you're moving forward. Now, let's talk about patience, because moving on, finding a place where you're truly appreciated, it doesn't happen overnight. It's a process, and sometimes that process can feel slow. There might be times when you feel like you're not making progress, when you're tempted to give up and go back to what's familiar. In those moments, I want you to remember this: every master was once a beginner. Every success story includes chapters of struggle, of doubt, of setbacks. What sets successful people apart is their willingness to keep going, to keep learning, to keep believing in themselves even when things get tough. Think about a garden for a moment. When you plant a seed, you don't see results immediately. For a while, it might seem like nothing is happening. But beneath the surface, that seed is growing roots, gathering strength, preparing to break through the soil. Your journey is much the same. Even when you can't see visible progress, trust that beneath the surface, you're growing stronger, you're laying the foundation for your future success. As you move forward, it's crucial to surround yourself with positivity. Seek out people who believe in you, who support your dreams. Find mentors who can guide you, who can share their wisdom and experience. Join communities of like-minded individuals who are also on a journey of growth and self-development. These connections aren't just about support. They're about expanding your horizons, exposing yourself to new ideas, new possibilities. They're about creating a network that can open doors to opportunities you might never have discovered on your own. Now let's address something important. As you start to value yourself more, as you start to seek out environments where you're appreciated, you might face resistance. There might be people in your life who are uncomfortable with your growth, who try. Remember, this resistance often says more about them than it does about you. It's a reflection of their own fears, their own insecurities. Don't let it deter you. Instead, let it strengthen your resolve. Let it remind you why you started this journey in the first place. As you move forward, it's important to stay curious, to keep learning. The world is constantly changing, constantly evolving. To stay relevant, to continue growing, we must evolve with it. So never stop learning. Never stop asking questions. Never stop seeking out new experiences, new perspectives. This curiosity, this love of learning, it's not just about acquiring new skills or knowledge. It's about staying open to possibilities. It's about maintaining a sense of wonder about the world and your place in it. It's about remaining adaptable, flexible, ready to seize new opportunities as they arise. Now, I want to talk about something that's often overlooked when we discuss moving on, seeking appreciation. And that's the importance of appreciating yourself. You see, when we're in environments where we're not appreciated, it's easy to internalize that lack of appreciation, to start doubting our own worth, our own abilities. But here's the truth. Your worth isn't determined by others' ability to see it. Your talents don't diminish because someone fails to recognize them. You are inherently valuable, inherently worthy of appreciation. So start appreciating yourself. Acknowledge your strengths. Celebrate your uniqueness. Recognize the value you bring to the table. Because when you truly appreciate yourself, You set the standard for how others should treat you. You become a beacon, attracting people and opportunities that align with your true worth. As we near the end of our time together, I want to leave you with this thought. Your journey to find appreciation, to move on to better things, it's not just about your career. It's about your life. It's about creating a life that reflects your true potential, your true value. It's about waking up each morning excited about the day ahead. It's about going to bed each night feeling fulfilled, knowing you've made a difference, knowing you've grown in some way. It's about living a life that's true to who you are. Remember, you have one life, one precious, beautiful, unique life. Don't waste it in places where you're not appreciated. Don't dim your light to make others comfortable. Shine brightly. Pursue your dreams fiercely. Create the life you deserve. And as you do, remember this. Your journey isn't just about you. By valuing yourself, by refusing to settle for less than you deserve, you inspire others to do the same. You create ripples of positive change that extend far beyond your own life. So take that step. Make that leap. Believe in yourself fiercely. Appreciate yourself fully. And watch as the world rises to meet you. You are capable of amazing things. You have gifts that the world needs. Don't let anyone's lack of appreciation hold you back from sharing those gifts, from making your unique contribution to the world. As you leave here today, I want you to make a promise to yourself. Promise that you'll no longer settle for less than you deserve. Promise that you'll take action, no matter how small, towards creating a life where you're truly appreciated. Promise that you'll believe in yourself, even when it's hard, even when others don't. Because when you make that promise, when you commit to valuing yourself, to seeking out environments where you can thrive, you're not just changing your life, you're changing the world. You're showing others what's possible when we refuse to dim our light, when we insist on being seen and appreciated for who we truly are. So go forth with courage, with determination, with the unshakable belief that you deserve to be appreciated, that you deserve to thrive. Your greatest chapter is yet to be written, and only you can write it. The world is waiting for your unique contribution. Don't keep it waiting any longer. It's time to move on. It's time to shine. It's time to become all that you were meant to be. Thank you for your time, for your attention, for your willingness to grow. Now go out there and show the world what you're truly capable of. Your journey begins now. Make it extraordinary.